Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stabby Time. I'm your host, the Zombie. We got Brennan. We got some special guests on for you today. We are so excited. We have Richard Elfman, director, writer, actor, musician. Yeah, we have Anastasia Elfman, actress, director, choreographer, burlesque artist. You guys are like multi-talented.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're so excited to have you on.
I can read and she can drive.
Yeah,
There you go.
that it makes for a good couple. So, yeah, like we're probably gonna fumble over our questions. You are our first official special guest on our podcast, so you're popping our cherries. Congratulations!
Whoa, honey.
Yeah,
Okay, baby.
yeah.
No, it's not. I had
Yeah.
no
That's usually how it happens, right? When you have no idea, you're like, "Oh God." So yeah, for the past 3 days, myself and Brennan have soaked our lives into both of your works and your backgrounds and everything on the Googles, and it's amazing. And I'm nerding out, so this is going to be super fun. So we asked you guys on here so we could ask you a few questions. Also, at the end of this, you guys have an event coming up on February 10th. At the Frida Cinema, and we're going to post the info on the chat, but we'll go into more with that after the questions. By the way, anyone in the chat, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. We'll read them to our special guests. And how's your day going? I mean, you just told us that you're going to have a long night. Like, how long is your night going to be after this?
Well, it'll be a fun one. I mean, we have to drive down to Orange County, then we'll be up to midnight. They always buy us a bunch of drinks.
Oh, nice. That makes it better.
It's a tribute band called Dead Man's Party.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like, for me, like reliving the Oingo Boingo days with our friends there.
Oh, God. I nerd out. So when I was a little buck, I loved Oingo Boingo. I still play Weird Science all the time. Actually, I have like a horror pop-up, and that's like one of the songs that's on my list of songs that I play. I have to always be careful what I play because little kids show up. I'm like, oh shit, hold on. I was like, we don't want to play this song. We're gonna skip it. So I have a question about I was watching Forbidden Zone, and then of course I was watching Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, and I've noticed that there was some inspirations. Maybe it's in my head, but so in Forbidden Zone, I felt a lot of John Water vibes, and this is before I even realized that you had Susan Tyrrell from Crybaby in it, which I also geeked out on. Because as soon as I heard that voice, I was like, wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? But it was like I got a lot of John Water vibes. And then in bits and parts of it, I also got like the art of Mighty Python when you had a lot of the drawings with like the people running through, and then Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. I did get a lot of like Attack from Mars vibes, mainly from the spaceship, kind of how like the camera looked. So do you have inspirations with these movies, or what was your inspiration while making
I
these?
definitely had inspirations, but not the ones you listed.
So it's all in my mind.
In terms of, the art direction for Forbidden Zone was more like Max Fleischer, Betty Boop.
Okay.
That
Okay.
type of thing. In terms of Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, it was kind of Flash Gordon rocket ships.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton, but I'm the influence on him, not him on me.
Yeah. Now,
we see him at various events periodically. The guy's very
Oh my God.
Beetlejuice 2 right now. They're just finishing it up.
Yes. I'm like so excited for that. It's the only time that I'm actually going to be excited about like an older movie getting a second one
Oh, yeah,
nowadays
that's cool.
without, you know, being scared that it's going to get ruined in some way. Also, speaking of, side note, just for you, Anastasia, they're remaking Death Becomes Her. You know that, right?
Oh
Oh
god.
no! Oh no!
I know.
Oh.
I did.
Perfect film.
I
What's
wanted
the
to break
random
your
of the
heart
remake?
live. Yeah.
Sorry. I mean,
Yeah, I'm very like
believe
worried.
it.
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
very,
want
very
it.
worried.
It's kind of like witches, you know? It's like, I don't know. Did we need that? That was another great film, you know? Like,
Yeah.
save IP, but also like let's give some opportunities to like some new writers, some new filmmakers.
Yes.
You know, like let's get some original stuff going. You know, not
Please.
everybody who loves, you know, their older films want them to be remade. I would almost bet
Yes.
like nobody wants them to be remade.
Yeah.
Well, that's taking a chance.
Yeah. Like literally, like I don't I get scared every time they do a remake, and then I'm just like, what's happening? I'm like, you're aging me, because I always get so upset. I'm like, these damn kids, I can't trust them with the remake.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
I'm keeping this frisbee and you can't have it. Like that's how I am with all my remakes. I loved Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks.
Yeah.
And you have like quite a mixture of actors in there. Fred
Yep.
Stewart, Norm from Cheers. You have
Aggie.
Bert Mini-Me is in there. Like, so basically, how was that working with that group of actors? And also, when you were like writing for these roles, is that like, did you have these people in mind for these parts, or how did that happen?
Not really. I have like a very formal writing process. Is I lock myself in the rooftop garret with a box of cigars and a case of scotch, and 3 weeks later, a screenplay comes out.
Yeah.
And then, I'm trying to think, like French Stewart and I, God, we were friends, and he was just great as the German scientist. The guy had said once.
Oh yeah.
And George went from Cheers. We had mutual friends, and he, you know, came on board. Was great, amazing veteran actors. And I wasn't able to do this back in the 35 millimeter film days, but digitally, because it's cheaper and faster. Once I get a really good take and it's in the can, I tell the actor, "Okay, we've got it. We're going to do one more. Do anything the fuck you want."
Yeah, nice.
Particularly like French was a great improviser. And Mini-Me, okay, we had other little people in the film, and he's a little person's little person. But charismatic, funny. It was great to work with. He didn't realize, like in the script, we had kind of gibberish lines for the alien subtitles, and he could have said anything, but he memorized them. He was really
nice. You really went in it.
yeah. But big soul and a little body. Very sorry to see him go.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I was gonna say Martin's in there, and he's from Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've seen him in a lot of other movies too.
He was a cool guy. He rides a motorcycle, and
I saw that.
I told him the spaceship is going to have 4 on the floor, and he said, "Can I smoke a cigar?" And I said, "Hired." And
So, word of advice: bring cigars when you try out for acting jobs. No, it'll get you parts. Yeah, I binged on everything. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It's definitely both those movies are definitely my jam. So I wanted to also talk about Bloody Bridget, of course. Like, why not? And I was reading up on, you know, what the movie is about. So what my question, I don't know, did you guys want to kind of give like a brief description on Bloody Bridget, and then I could ask you my secret question after?
Yeah.
Oh, a description?
Yeah.
There's this exploited burlesque dancer out in Van Nuys. Everybody, like her boss, the boyfriend, the lawyers, everybody's kind of oppressing her. And so finally she's like arrested. She's going to spend her life in jail for something she didn't do. She's molested in jail. She tries to hang herself, and then she ends up in the twilight. Okay, now, Haitian voodoo deity, the god of life and death, Baron Samadai, mistakes her for his ex-wife, Bridget from Ireland, which is really how things are in Haiti, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He's going to empower her, so he doesn't make her just a vampire, but he makes her a Valentine vampire. And she says, well, what's that? And he goes, well, you shall see. Well, it turns out that sucking blood only whets her appetite. She has to eat their beating hearts. And everyone in the film who gets it deserves it. So the audience is like applauding as these hearts now ripped out.
I was gonna say she's saving women from a bunch of assholes, basically. Like, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Like,
the lawyer cuts his fee while his heart's out.
That's so. So my question is, so Bridget turns into a vampire via the Baron. What made you go that route instead of doing like the normal vampire eating a vampire, then now you're a vampire?
I was probably the 6th or 7th glass of scotch.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? Fuck that. Now we need the Baron. I mean, I love that idea. And everyone's gonna want to see a vampire movie about, you know, a woman eating the hearts out of every jerk possible. And I'm sure every woman out there has a list of men they would love to eat the hearts out of.
We've been doing the festival circuit, and we were down in Brazil, which was great, by the way, amazing people. And Anastasia was mobbed after by women.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, like, oh, my boyfriend deserved it so bad.
You're like, we need Gates. We need Gates.
I know. I think I was like starting a revolution down there.
Yeah. You're going to come back and they're going to be like, Queen Anastasia, Queen Anastasia.
This is perfect for me. I love it.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know how this happened, but I'll take it. This is going to be good. Yeah. So my question is, when's Bloody Bridget? Do you know when Bloody Bridget is going to be out on like streaming platforms?
You know, I don't know yet. We completely finance this ourselves. We're talking mortgage, credit cards, damn the torpedoes, give us the white whale. So we're just having fun. We've got more festivals to go to. We do live shows. And at some point this year, you know, we've got some offers, you know, we'll put it out there. But right now it's the festival circuit, and you can't have a commercial release while you're doing the festivals.
Yeah, and it looks like a blast because you guys are playing music, dancing, and everything, and you also get to see the movie. Now, are you just doing that in California? Or are you traveling around?
I don't know. God, we've had some wild weekends, like New York one night, San Francisco the next, Portland the next night, Las Vegas the next. No, we've been all over. And again, we've been Canada to Brazil, Mexico City. We've been all over. Where are we going next? I think Wisconsin, Seattle.
I was going to say, I think I saw Milwaukee in there because that's where I used to live. But that's where I lived there. I was like, I think they're going to Milwaukee.
Not Milwaukee. I forgot the name of the place, but it's the Midwest Weird Fest.
Oh, okay. All right. I know exactly where that's at. Oh, I'm going to have to call off work. Hopefully no one at my job's watching this.
A legend in Australia created the biggest genre festivals there, has created some festivals in Wisconsin. And so we're hook up there.
That's God, I love those festivals and any kind of like convention. At my old age, that's all I do now. That's what I do for fun. I never go out. I just go to the cons.
Yeah, we actually were just invited by Famous Monsters of Filmland, and we helped celebrate their like big blowout 65th anniversary, and they had us because they also had like with the convention they also had a film festival going, so we screened Bloody Bridget, and I got to do my big like bloody burlesque number to open the film, and so it was like really fun to get that aspect too, because not every film festival has like a con component, you know, so that was like really interesting.
Yeah, it's fun because con people that we go in hard, like legit, they go in hard. So with Bloody Bridget, like, what made you how did you come up with the look? You know what I mean? Like when she's in her full form, and you were like, what does a Valentine vampire look like? Like, how did you was that the other scotch that's how it happened?
Well, Anastasia has an effects background, so it was very much her creation, how she looked. The only thing where I had to step in originally, it was just a shock of wild hair.
Yeah.
But it didn't work against green screen. So we had to have some guy do these. It was tremendous amount of work to craft these wigs. So they were curly cues of hair, but not easy. And we had to have 3 different wigs because, you know, one would get bloody. We'd have to like replace it with another.
Yeah. Actually, we went to like this popular, wonderful wig store on Hollywood Boulevard, and we went in and we talked to their stylist Tony, and we were trying to explain the vibe of the film, and then all of our like things that we had to do, you know, because of the green screen and everything that Ricky just said. And so he wasn't really understanding it. So Ricky grabbed like a pen and paper and literally did like squiggles.
Oh my God.
For him. And then like, you know, a week or 2 late, I forget how long it took him to make those wigs. We had 3 wigs made, and each of them weighs so much. They're so heavy. They're like,
do you know how they weigh? Like,
I don't know, but it was a nightmare, like on my neck, let's say, you know, because you have to like lean in and like you know, the scenes and everything. But they were so heavy and composed of like maybe 10 wigs. Just in
my God.
Wigs. But I only got 1 messy, and it was near the end. So we only used 2 out of the 3.
Well, it was kind of an insurance policy because all it takes is you're needing a wig, and it could shut the whole production down for half a day. So I just have plenty of wigs.
As many as you can. Yeah. And that each wig's that I made out of like 10 wigs. So that's a lot of wigs. Like
it's a bunch. It's way too many wigs. Or
how
not
many blood? How much fake blood did you go through with that movie?
Oh God, so much.
Vats.
One of my hacks is we shot this thing so fast with 2 cameras. Is I did all the kills back to back against green screen, and then we put the backgrounds in later. And
nice.
What I would have had to do is do a kill, then take it to a different location, redress everything to do it. But Anastasia, you wouldn't think so. She has a Marine background.
Okay.
Classical ballet, which she says was tougher, but she doesn't complain. So here she is with, it wasn't just the wig, but like there's like tubes gorilla taped along her arms.
Oh my God.
Here she's like ripping the stuff with nails breaking off.
Okay.
I'm having flashbacks right now.
I was like, what's rougher, ballet or that? Like,
I don't know.
And then eating the hearts, trying not to gag, but putting on a performance, and then cut, clean her up, next. So you like rip the tape off, cold shower, redress her.
Oh my God.
6 kills in 12 hours.
Well, okay, let me tell you. So with the big hoses that were like thick and huge, like literally gorilla taped onto my arms, and I had to like finesse it and like work with my DP to make sure I wasn't like it was like very choreographed. And it's not just shooting the scene, it's like getting it from multiple angles. So I do a scene like probably so many times. But with the tube, it was connected to this huge like fire extinguisher. So it's like they would put it up with some kind of like gas or something to get it to go once they hit it. And so I would get a jolt. Like,
oh my God.
Every time they would do it. And sometimes it would like splurt out on me or on the actor. So, like literally like because like the tube was coming from my hand. I would have to like fan it so it wasn't going up my nose. So I was like, even though it seemed like I was being a jerk spraying them, I was like trying like I'm a mom. I like don't want to like get somebody's.
And I'm going, brilliant, more blood, more blood.
Right. You know, I get waterboarded by blood. You know.
Luckily, I had tremendous scene partners, and so they were all like game to like get the scenes done.
Get drowned in blood. They're like, ugh.
Yeah, and also to get back to your question before about like how did we create the demon bloody Bridget. I worked really close with our effects team. So Roy Knierim at Soda Effects and Jacob Barber and Kenneth Calhoun. They were like, they totally had my back and were open to suggestions and things because I do have a background. So I was very closely working with them and then my team for costuming because I did a lot of my own costumes and then also collaborated with my costumers. So it was like a big group effort, but it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm like, it looks amazing. I'm like, it's the hair that I love. I love the hair.
Do you like it? I'm surprised.
Was it based on this a little bit?
Yeah. Was that the inspiration? Is that what you looked like after you wrote the movie? You're like, hey,
a little bit.
Yeah,
it was like you wrote like quarantine, like all 2020, let's say. And so like everybody's hair was growing out. So a little bit.
It's like, welcome. So obviously you all are very like horror is a big part of your life. No. So my question is, just a little bit, it's a little part of your life. What horror movie or show was like your gateway, like a gateway drug to horror? And why do you think that horror is such a big part of your life?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, that's such a huge question. I mean, we were talking a lot before our interview, let's say, and getting to know each other, and now we're best friends.
We're BFFs.
Well, I grew up on a lot of like classic films and silence and pre-code horror and things like that, and my biggest inspiration and idol is Lon Chaney Sr. And so I believe, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint just because I was exposed to so many films. So it's hard to pinpoint one, but I feel like one of my like biggest memories was his Phantom of the Opera 25. Yeah. So that's kind of like one of my first. And then also, I mean, you know, like John Carpenter's The Thing, you know, we've got what else? Child's Play, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. You know? I mean, like, now we're gonna go into like my favorite horror films, which is like hard to, anyways, because it just depends on the mood. But generally, like, very effects driven horror is my favorite. Yeah. I mean, I can go on and on. I've got to share. With
I was gonna say. How old were you when you watched your first horror movie?
As a little kid, it was, you know, the old Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman. And then I'm just trying to think, like growing up, Psycho was a big one.
Oh, yeah. I love Psycho.
The original Haunting from like the early 60s is
still one of the
ghost movies ever made.
It is.
You know, and I like, I love supernatural horror. And you know, tons of friends that, you know, make horror films. I don't look for acting work, but I get cast every year too. Yeah.
I
That's
know.
They're like walking down the street, like, hey, and
I'm an actress in the family, and then I'm like over there, like being his assistant while he's on set.
yeah.
Wait a second. She's been a screen queen in I think like a dozen films now. I think you've overtaken me by dare.
Well, you know.
Yeah. She's not going to the grocery store and coming back like, hey, crazy. I'm in 2 films next year, just so you know. Don't know how it happened. It's nuts. So why do you think horror like stuck with you all? Like, why? What about that genre? Like, I don't know, brings your life alive.
I don't know. How do you explain it?
Yeah.
Some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate. Some people like to see people crying while dying of cancer. I prefer horror.
They do. I'm one of those people that laugh at awkward moments. I'm like, shit, this is not when we're supposed to laugh. I think I forgot what horror movie it was. I have a thing with little kids in horror movies. I hate them. If you see a little kid in a horror movie, like kill them off right away because they're possessed or they're bringing some demon or they're going to have a demon. Yeah, like all the adults are dying. If you have a kid that's like, I have an invisible friend and Billy's talking to me, like, no, get rid of that kid. It's
like number 1.
Yeah, the kid is haunted. Get rid of it. It's horrible. I know Brendan had a few questions he wanted to add to the mix.
Like watching your movies the other day, I noticed that you tend to work with close friends and family, and I always wonder, it's like do you find that easier, and do you prefer to work with family when you make your movies?
Definitely. Well, one, it helps with the budget.
True.
I can see that.
True.
I don't pay my brother as much as the studio does because he works for free.
Yes, they sell their souls. I mean, most families will kill each other. But yeah.
I think like Anastasia and I, we've been performing together, God, for a dozen years now. She's a vampire. She doesn't age, so you
right? Don't give the secrets.
I know. Can we watch this?
Amazingly, we get along and have fun. I don't think we've ever had a work fight ever.
Wow,
that's great.
Trash or
then watch out.
Haven't shaved.
Yeah, true. You're out.
But
and
then Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks, my son Bodie Elfman starred. His wife Jenna Elfman is more famous, but if you look up Bodie Elfman on IMDb, he's got like 200 credits.
Yeah. I was surprised. He's been going for a long time.
Yeah. So, I love working with the family. I'm very blessed to have family.
That's great. It's nice to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is like you are blessed to have that because I couldn't imagine. I went to an escape room with my family and I wanted to kill them all. So that's gonna be my own horror movie. I couldn't imagine doing a movie with them. That would drive me nuts. Yeah, I'm like they're all dead now in real life. Yay, guys! No more remakes.
I love working with the family too. We actually had an Aliens, Clowns, and Geeks. My sister is in one of the scenes, and my niece, and I think even my nephew, and then our daughter Audrey was the too. So we keep it very, and the grandkids. Story and Easton.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Yeah. We were trying to get out again.
Yeah.
Well, like Easter eggs. I like hiding little things on set or like something that says like, just like little. Those are my favorite things.
Yeah, that's the stuff I like.
I'm like a little nerd, so.
Oh yeah, that's Brendan is definitely an Easter egger. If that's what you call them. Do you say Easter egger? Yeah, Easter egger.
Yeah, totally.
I made up that we're going with it. I'm that person. Yeah, everyone calls it an Easter egger. It's a thing. But I'm more the person that blurts about how something reminds me of something and then it's not something. That's me. But I did say, and we reviewed a movie, and I was like, "This lady looks familiar," and I was correct. She was actually from another movie. So sometimes I'm right.
I might not remember the actor's name, but I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
this actor is from this and this and this and
Yeah.
this. And he's like, oh my God, I would never
That's
have
amazing
guessed.
like that. Yeah.
See, he says this.
He spots them every time.
That's what he says. And it's true.
You're like, hold on. Yeah, that's I all I said was this we watched Night Swim. I don't know if you watched that movie. And
Not yet, so no spoilers.
oh yeah, no spoilers. But there was an old lady in the movie, and she like has this intense moment. I'm like, God, that face. Something reminds me of that face. And she was what in
she was just kind of like a throwaway character in the movie The Hot Chick, the Rob Schneider movie from the early 2000s.
She was the mother of Ling Ling.
Yeah, it was funny. Then we looked up her IMDb, and she's been acting for like 45 years. Like
Oh
she
my
got
God.
She's been in RoboCop 3, Exorcist 3. It was really weird. It like opened up a portal to like, the Google black hole where you start looking up somebody.
Oh, it's great, man.
We have to always investigate, but yeah, that's but Brendan's like the Easter egg. He's like, did you see this? And did you see this in this movie? And then what happened here? I'm like, no, I did not pay attention, but I'll watch it. Like, let's see. What was your next question, Brendan?
Oh, we noticed that you guys actually have an underground and like food and wine performance studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like what got you guys involved in that type of business?
Well, we love to perform.
Yeah.
I love to cook. Anna and I love to host. So this isn't a commercial thing. It's an underground thing.
Okay.
We have an older house. It's about 100 years old with a Hollywood history.
And so awesome.
We can get about, shoulder to shoulder, maybe 80, 90 people.
So like 100 plus.
Yeah. And
nice.
And Anna performs she has a musical partner, Morgan Sorn, that does incredible music. So, but these are like private underground events that we do quarterly.
Yeah, and they're invite only. So
yeah, invite only.
It's not a commercial thing.
Yeah, it's in Hollywood though for like the underground horror crowd.
So don't be looking for this. Yeah.
Or do, but just don't show up, okay?
Right, yeah. Truth. And you have a wine and food background too, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. In my scattered and mountain life, I've written food. I've been a journalist forever, and along with entertainment and this and that, I've written food and wine forever. It's a passion, and I cook for my cast and crews at the end of every week. There's barbecues going, and even my vegetarian wife gets, like mushrooms, vegetables, baked goat's cheese, garlic.
I get shunned over in the corner. I can't look at anybody. I can't look at
anybody. Pieces of beef and lamb and pork and whole sandwiches.
I feel you.
Here. Yeah, exactly.
It's not work, but for me, it's a passion, and it relaxes me.
That's awesome. I also feel your pain. I'm a vegan, so I work in a kitchen, and everyone's like, "Did you want to eat this?" I'm like, "There's it's chicken." I'm like, wait, just
give me
something.
Fun, right?
Yeah, they're like, "It's good. You're okay though."
But we always have vegans in the casting crew.
Yeah, no, I'm teasing. It's totally we like he's totally fine and understanding, and like everything's fine and everybody's welcome. Because like we're in Hollywood, so everybody has some kind of a different dietary restriction. So we're used to all of that kind of stuff. And
you're like gluten-free everything.
Chimichurri sauce.
I would actually say that I have witnessed not only like several so-called vegans totally shit to eat his cedar board planked salmon, And then I'm like, I went to such great lengths to get you like delicious vegan food that I guess I'll eat later. Well, they're like eating salmon, and I'm like,
that's why it's private and underground, so no one can see what's happening behind closed doors.
Yeah, they're always like, don't judge me. I'm like, I'm judging.
Yeah, judge away. You know what they say? What stays in the basement stays in the basement. What happens in the basement stays in the basement.
What did I say? Life is bitter, but the pork is sweet, and some must die so others may live.
That's a good one.
Sometimes you're vegan and they're eating salmon. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I feel like that's. I mean,
No,
I don't know. It's fish.
We grill vegan.
Yeah, I mean that it sounds amazing and it sounds delicious. I'm like, I'm totally down. I would eat. I mean, I would not eat any fish. Like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
It's like when was it someone told me that there was squished bugs and sprinkles, and I'm like, I mean, but do we really care about the bugs? Oh my, I think I'm okay with a bug getting squished. It's not like you're using anything else. Yeah.
Our daughter has a little jumping spider as a pet. His name is Nico, and he has so much personality. And so I've just been, my heart has opened to smaller creatures. Like we had a lizard Fred, and it's like you wouldn't realize how much like just personality these tiny creatures have. So I know.
I'm on jumping spider TikTok, no lie. And everyone always does little voice with the spider and what he does. Oh my god, it's like it is, and I'm scared of spiders, like frightened. But those are the cutest videos ever, and it's got to be like, is it like a tarantula? If it jumps off,
it's like super tiny. Like I lose him in his little. We did like a bioactive like enclosure for him, so he would have a really good tiny life. I don't know how long they last. Waiting to find out. I don't know. It's weird. It's fine. She loves him. He's so cute. He's orange and he's got little eyelashes, and she plays with him. He hops around, and sometimes he hops off, and we're like trying to pick him up by his like little butt string. It's
oh my god. Nothing like getting carried around by your butt string. It's
him around. No, we're very
just swing him like a helicopter.
He's so tiny. Like whenever
you come around with me when you pull me around by my butt string, though, baby.
Yeah, right. You're like, here, get over here. How many animals do you have in your house?
Well, besides Red,
and his butt string.
And the butt string. So is that 1.5? Okay. We just So on our horror theme, we just rescued a kitten, an older kitten, from a very popular, famous cemetery called Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And so we just rescued her a couple months ago. Her name is Selena Kyle Elfman, named after Catwoman from Batman Returns, of course.
Yeah.
And so we have her, and then the jumping spider, and we had a little wild-caught Western fence lizard
that our daughter caught and domesticated. He would ride around on her shoulder and eat from her hand.
Oh my god, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Also, my niece and my nephew would be jealous because I used to live in Florida for about 10 years. My sister-in-law is from Florida. She came up and took a lizard, flew it all the way back up to Illinois. What? And I was like, I was like, first of all, lizards like in Florida. Yeah, literally in a purse, in a cup. And he flew, and I was like, this guy's traumatized. He's like, what? I just got kidnapped. What happened? And then he brought him. He brought him to the coldest place on earth. He's like, this is crap. But like, she took him, and I was like confused because I go, well, in Florida, lizards are like the cockroaches of Florida because you see their skeletons laying everywhere. But and my nephew's like, I want to take him out, but Bob won't let me. I'm like, he's gonna run for his life. He's frightened. I don't think there's like no domesticating this one. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sure your lizard didn't get kidnapped.
Yeah, well, he definitely got lizard napped, but he was just from Hollywood, so he like loved. We had him in like this really lovely terrarium with like a little Pusheen couch that he loved.
Oh my god!
Couch, and he just had like a total glamorous life, and he literally loved hanging out with us. He would be on my shoulder while I was doing laundry or cleaning the kitchen. He loved Bob's Burgers, I think, because of the like bright colors. I would catch him watching the TV from because his cage was in our daughter's room, and so he would watch it down the hall. I would catch him like all photos. He was like on and like watching. He was really sweet. Yeah. So he had a lot of personality and was very and judgy.
That's the best pets, is when they're judgy and they're just like, leave me to hell. I have a horrible dog. He was a rescue, but I call him Chucifer for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I adopted him, and they're like, here's his record. He's been returned 4 times. I'm like, wait, what am I? Is this Damien? What happened? Like, what?
Oh, no. Yeah, I was worried. I was really worried about the cat that we just rescued, because it's like literally, it was like somebody had dumped abandoned kittens, and so like there's a rescue that works with the cemetery, and there's a bunch of like what do you call them when they're like wild cats?
Feral.
There's a bunch of feral.
That's how I was until she got me.
Yeah.
And with my car on the Holland drivers running around, and then you just been
yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
So I worked with a rescue from the cemetery, and so I was so worried that our cat Selena was like that she was going to want to get out all the time, or she was going to be like, I don't know, destructive. But she is so sweet and has perfect like inside house manners. Uses her like little litter box. Like she obviously came from a house, and I don't know why they did it, but she is so awesome. And actually, I'm kind of glad that they like left her there so that.
Does that happen a lot? People just leave cats there?
Apparently it does. I had no idea, because it's like in my mind that would never be an option to like dump an animal. I don't know, but like,
where are you gonna go dump your cat? In the Hollywood Cemetery?
The cemetery. It's fine. With the swans, they'll love it, and the peacock. Yeah. Oh, she was like. We had a hard time finding her, because like the cemetery is big, and we're just like ladies running around trying to like low key grab
my
this
cat
off of the street, right? And so like she ended up like sleeping with the wild peacocks that are there, and so she's like a very silly cat. Yeah,
she's very social. Everyone loves her.
Anastasia's birthday. What do you want to do, honey? Okay, so we went to Hollywood forever, and she visited where Peter Lorre was resting, and then we went to another cemetery where Lon Chaney Sr. was resting.
Oh, cool!
So
yeah,
that's so cool.
The horror-filled life that I am married to.
Which was so crazy for me to go there and respect, like pay my respect. You know, that was nuts. And also, we found out, so our cat is an orange cat, and so usually they're male cats. So the whole time, it took like a week for us to trap her. So the whole time I'm thinking of like boy names. So I'm thinking like, okay, Vincent Price Elfman, Peter Lorre. And then she turns out to be like a little lady. So I had to like, our daughter and I had to like all these little girl names, you know.
I love when animals have like real names. You know what I mean? Like the full-fledged, like I never call him by his full name. I'm just like, he's a man of many names. But that's crazy that people just drop up. Maybe they're like, hey, Elvis Presley or whoever so needs a cat, take it. Just leave them there.
I know,
that's nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
I have a friend that saves black cats in California, and I wonder if she knows that. I was like, I feel like it's something she should have told me. This is a fun fact. Like you can get a cat.
I had no idea. I went into the underbelly of the Hollywood Forever Cemetery,
where there's cats.
With the rescue there, and so
the cemetery is a great place to hang out in Hollywood Forever. By the way.
Yeah, I could only
old,
imagine.
all these old stars.
Yeah, it's really nice. We used to do, we haven't done it in a while because we've been so busy touring with our films, but we used to do like little date lunches, like picnic lunches, and like hang out there. It's like very like, it's quiet, there's s'mores.
Yeah.
It's really romantic.
You're surrounded by people you love.
Yeah, kind of.
Right? Like, I mean, because technically you're like right near them. Like you're like on them. You know what I mean? So you can't get any closer.
Yeah. Well, we don't sit on, like, we're just very respectful. We're not like rolling around on graves. We're like strategically sitting on non-grave areas.
Yeah. You're not salt burning it in the graveyard. Okay.
So like, don't use that headline. Like, almonds are rolling around on graves.
They
only picnic on dead bodies.
And grabbing them, so you do have to be careful.
Yeah. You have to like bring a pan and kind of hit them back down, like, go back to bed.
Yeah. They're like, no, wait, hold on. I heard you're making another movie.
That was actual archival footage that happened at the cemetery during the 60s when they all came out of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Media you won't hear that on CNN. Gotta get your news here.
Get your news first. Here at Stabby Time. So I had a brain fart. So you're doing your touring, and of course, a Saturday, February 10th at 8 p.m. You're going to be at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. I'm trying not to use my Illinois Chicago accent when I read that, so I had to read it slowly. I was like, that's like Santa Ana. It's horrible. So it's Santa Ana. Santa Ana. But I wish, honestly, I lived in California. This sounds like a great time, and you guys are going to be there. What else do you guys have going on for this month? Are you going to be in any other areas?
God, I'm trying to think. Not till this show. We've got some other festivals we're not attending. I'm currently developing animation projects.
Oh,
nice.
Sorry. I just hit. Whoa, nerd came out. Sorry.
Yeah. I just finished a premiere episode of a horror one. We'll let you know. It's gonna be bloody, and my brother and our bandmate Ego Plum have been doing scores. So that's I'm really busy with that. And I had a novel released recently, a vampire novel, Jewish vampire novel.
Nice.
And we're doing the audiobook shortly, and I've got some major horror celebrities who are doing voices, but I can't.
That sounds amazing.
So this is all happening at the same time.
Oh my God.
That's really exciting.
It's awesome that you guys do so much. It honestly gives me it encourages me that like I'm not going crazy, because I'm also a person that does 5 million things. So I'm like, if they could do it, I'm sure anyone else can. You know what I mean? Anyone who has multiple talents.
Partnership. She reads the episodes, proofs them, gives me notes. She'll be doing a voice in the audiobook.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You can't. I was like, you can't give any spoilers about the cartoon, right? No, none.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Damn.
But
I've been.
It's I mean, some are for kids, but I'm having a lot of fun with the adult ones.
I'm a gore freak, so anything with blood I love.
It's gonna have a lot of blood.
Nice.
Noise.
All I can say is he's a ghoul hiding in plain sight.
Okay, all right. That's so funny. I'm not lying. I've been on ghoul TikTok. That's a thing. It's a thing. People talk about, it's like people are talking about ghouls and like movie reveals about ghouls. I don't know why or how I got onto it. I must have liked a random video. Like I have Tourette's in my hands, so sometimes I click on videos I shouldn't. I'm like, okay, never mind. It's got a mind of its own. It's idle hands. But yeah, I'm on like Ghoul TikTok. So if you ever get bored, check it out. Are you all on the TikToks?
No. I don't understand it. I mean, I can barely keep like Instagram and Facebook, and I feel like for some reason I'm like shadow banned on both, and they won't tell me what or how to fix it. So it's like I don't know what I'm doing, and I feel like very censored because of horror stuff. So I can't say like killer or this is killer or any like so I'm very feel like like my comedy, because I'm a comedic actress, it's like all of my comedy shtick is like totally censored, and I have to like just talk very basic, and I'm like, you're killing me. This is what I do.
After this podcast, I'll email you with some fun tricks, because I've been a professional at getting shadow banned.
Oh, okay. Well, like apparently I am too, so that's not helpful. I've already got that. If you
I could get you out of it. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I went from like hundreds and hundreds of interactions to like lucky if I get 10. And I'm like, why? Like, why is this happening?
Yeah. It's weird. And TikTok is another monster. It's a lot worse too. I've been like banned because I dressed like a bunny with a bloody mouth. Like they were like, oh no, we can't have that. I was like, I'm not a real bunny and it's not real blood. But I mean, there's people that have been banned for cosplaying, and so maybe you don't want to be on the TikToks.
No, I mean, just with Instagram, I shared a meme that had like obviously a fake Michael Myers at like a grave that said something, and they flagged it with a warning.
Oh,
like, this is
no.
And I'm like, obviously you like, or there was like my first one was like, it was a drawing, and I'll just send it to you over email.
Yeah.
Obviously a meme, and I was like, I don't want to lose everybody.
They're like, that's it, you're gone.
Little cheerleaders.
So please help anyone. Like,
give me advice. I don't know what I'm saying.
Please help Anastasia get out of shadow banning. We'll get you out of the Instagram jail.
Please,
it is very hard. Yeah, it is very, very hard. But we will have all of your Facebooks and Instagrams. I'm going to post it also in the chat, but we will have it under this episode for all to follow and keep updated on everything you all will be doing. I'm multitasking and I'm failing at it.
Can I mention something really quick?
Oh, yeah.
So when you reached out, you said that you were talking to Ken from Sledgehammer Horror. And I had done an interview with him, and I love Ken and I love them over at Sledgehammer Horror. They're great people and do like
they're awesome,
wonderful interviews. And I felt like I had the best time. And I just want to say thank you to them for connecting us, because I was having such a good time talking with you guys.
Oh my God, thank you. Yes, honestly, Sledgehammer Horror, I don't even remember how we met. He just literally reached out to me or something. Yeah, right? He's like a ninja. He just like shows up out of the blue like, and you called? I heard you like horror. Can you be on my podcast? I'm like, okay. Yeah. And it's like a little mafia too, because then he just like sucks you in, and then he introduces you to people, and then it's just like one big happy family. And I
love that, because like saying, we totally like self-finance Bloody Bridget. We are a completely independent horror indie artist. Luckily that didn't get to censor Ricky at all, so he got to do everything he wanted to do. Crazy Elfman Jins are totally there in Bloody Bridget. Nobody's censoring.
Damn the torpedoes!
Right?
We're kind of
like, I have no problem. What is she talking about?
So we are, so grateful to everybody who's giving us platforms to talk about our film. We, it's like we're doing everything on our own. And so getting the word out about Bloody Bridget, getting it in front of like, you know, everybody's eyes, and also getting them to come over to the website and also our Instagram and Facebook pages devoted to the films, and us, you know, we're very active on social media. So, you know, like sharing that, and we can share our information with you. And we feel so supported by everybody in the horror community. You know, it's like, it's definitely a community with indie horror.
It really is. I come from a board game background, and it's just like I publish board games. So fun fact, if you're we'll email about that. Yeah, I'm a board. Yeah, we're just gonna nerd together like an email about everything. But like, I thought that community was like very welcoming, but like honestly, it has nothing on the horror community. Like it's crazy. Just everyone wants to see everyone succeed, and everyone is like so open and nice and polite, and it's hard to explain. Like I could go on a podcast and not have to worry about ever having a cringy moment. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, we're kind of
any unwanted cringy moments, I'm like, that's welcomed. That's what I was doing before this podcast.
The horror, the typical like live and die breathe horror fan, we're all kind of outcast, right?
Yeah.
Like, so we're all very accepting of each other, let's say, and we're all. I feel like not
one
just
of us, we accept.
Yeah,
Google
yeah.
I feel like we all are like love nerding out and really love like, so it's not just like that we love cinema. It's, I would say, like a true like horror fan absolutely loves deep diving into like horror and knows all like the history and things like that, which like I think as a creator is very important.
Yeah,
we covered that on the email too. We did.
It's so funny because
he was working in a horror effects shop, and I gave her my most charming line.
Yeah, what was it?
That's Quasimodo. He does this, but he doesn't like prefect, like he doesn't like let people know he's doing Quasimodo. So I just want to let everybody know that's beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I knew it right away. It's such a great impression. I was like
off of my heels with that one.
Yeah.
I suggest no one uses that though. Just tell them it's Quasimodo first though. Like
yeah.
Well, but it worked, so you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, it's the Quasimodo impressions that'll get you the ladies.
Like
you know what I mean?
From Richard Elfman.
Yeah.
That's a horror babe.
Right? Everyone's going to be trying it now. Go on the TikToks and film it. And if you do that, and see if it works. You can tag us. We'll show you guys. This is how it worked out for other people. That's, I mean, it is hard, like, to find someone else who likes horror or, yeah, it is very.
I don't know. I feel like a bunch of people love horror, but maybe it's because we're in Hollywood.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like our work is like in the industry, so like everybody. If anything, I'm like, I hope I know exactly what they're talking about because they're about to like try to like trip me up on something, you know.
That's another thing too. Is I never had a conversation with another person that Sledgehammer Horrors like introduced me to that I felt like I needed to know like crazy details about every little horror movie, or like you'll get judged. Like no one's like a judgy horror critic. Like we're all just, I always get pre-warnings. Like I watch weird, awkward movies that people probably don't like with bad graphics and bad FX, but that's my thing. Like the worst of it is like awesome. Like Freddy sucking the air out of a blow-up doll, I mean a person, like that's hilarious. It looked like crap, but it's my favorite part. Like some people don't dig that. But I we have actually a lot of Sledgehammer horror videos. So if anyone wants to check them out, you could do that. Click on their links. So we're gonna give them some hype for this stream. And then of course we have all of your information. This is when I start losing it. All your information is going to be on the bottom of the podcast. Again, thank you guys so much. This was a blast.
It was.
We had so much fun. I cannot wait to see Bloody Bridget. And please go check it out. Show support. Follow. It looks amazing. I love you both. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for coming on to our little bitty podcast at Stabby Time. And we will see you guys. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Anytime. And we'll be back, folks, with more Horror and Gore next month. When? We don't know yet.
Soon.